Hi guys, and welcome back to the Culinary Venture. I hope you like the last couple of videos I've put out. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Today we're going to be making something really simple, a nice non-bake chocolate tart. There's no oven required, just refrigerator for the base, and it can set at room temperature for the chocolate. So we have a few more ingredients here than we did the last couple of recipes I've made. So to start us off with, we have 600 grams of dark chocolate, 50 grams of caster sugar, 135 grams of unsalted butter, 150 milliliters of whole milk, and 450 milliliters of double cream. Then for the base, we have a buttered, lined, fluted, loose-bottomed tin. I've only lined it a little bit of butter for now, just to prevent it from non-sticking, but you don't really have to bother too much because we're going to add a biscuit base to it. So for the biscuit base, you'll need 400 grams of blended digestive biscuits and 200 grams of melted unsalted butter. Turn it on and pour the butter in nice and slowly. So as you can see, all the butter and the biscuit is mixed together. We're now going to put it into our mould. So you can use your hands for this, just nicely, firmly press it into the mould. So you cover all the mould and all the bottom. Just keep doing that until you've covered all the edges. If you get any big lumps which haven't been crushed just a little bit enough by the machine, just push it down with your hand. You don't want a really thick base. Unless you like it like that, then do it to your preference. All I'm going to do is keep going like that all the way around so it's nice and firm. Now I'm going to build up the edges with the biscuit. If you find it too dry, melt another little bit more butter and put that in to the mix. And just push the edges up. Try and keep it nice and even all over. And continue this process until it's all done. As you can see, I've lined it all the way around. It's even enough all the way over. It's like playing in the sand really. And if it's a little bit over the edge like this, all you got to do is just push your finger on the outside. You don't want it to go fall into the middle, so when you run your finger, push on the outside so it all falls out of the tart case all the way around, just to make it a nice clean finish all the way around. Then once you've done that and this stage is complete, pop it in the fridge. And if you've got any bits left like this here, just keep it to one side and you can make a crumble. And when you add everything to your flour and your butter and your sugar for your crumble topping, just throw this in there as well and it will bake up nicely and make a nice crispy top. So the next job whilst the base is setting is to make the chocolate filling. So you'll need your double cream, the 450 milliliters, into a heavy bottom saucepan, like that. Scrape it all in. Obviously make sure you get it all out because you've weighed it into these containers. You can weigh it straight into the saucepan and then you don't get any wastage, but if you do, then make sure if you do weigh it into containers, just make sure you don't get you get everything out, otherwise your recipe will change. Then add the sugar to this cream. So that's our 50 grams of sugar. And then we're going to add a pinch of salt, because salt and chocolate work really well together. And then we'll put it on the fire. So you want to mix this a little bit just to make sure the sugar is dissolving in the cream. And then you've got to bring it up to the boil. I've got really thick double cream here, so I've just got to make sure it doesn't start catching to the bottom and burning. So once you get to this stage, just give it a good mix. It's all going to slowly melt together, and when it comes up to the boil, take it off and we'll mix it with the rest of our ingredients. Once the cream is boiled, put the butter inside the cream. Give it a good mix quickly. This is where I move on to a whisk. Keep that spatula for later. Whisk that up so the butter melts. Then pour onto your chocolate. Once all your butter is melted and incorporated, pour onto your chocolate. Give that a good mix. The heat of the cream and the butter and the sugar should start melting the chocolate. See, it's slowly melting now. Just keep mixing. Mixing until everything starts to melt and dissolve. So once your dark chocolate has melted with your cream, your butter and your sugar, you can add your milk. Now it doesn't have to be dark chocolate, it can be milk chocolate if you want, if you prefer that. If you like half and half, then do half dark, half milk. I just prefer the little bitterness you get from the dark chocolate. Now add your milk to this, but if it does decide to split or look like it's gonna split, add more milk and just keep whisking. Because what the milk is doing is cooling it down and helping it emulsify. So if it does look like it's going to split, or you're afraid it's splitting, add a little bit more cold milk quickly. So everything now is nicely mixed, nicely incorporated. Now we're going to pour this into our set biscuit base. Now if you're in a rush and you want it for dinner in the evening and you're making it in the morning, then you can put your biscuit base in the freezer to set it. This tart filling will set at room temperature. If you want to travel with it or take it to a friend's house or whatever you want to do at a dinner party, you can put it in the fridge for a few hours, let it completely set, transport it in wherever you're going, and it will and leave it out in their house, and it will be at room temperature, perfect for them to eat. So now our biscuit base is set. We're going to take our filling and pour it into our base. Just give it a good mix first, make sure it's all nicely incorporated and mixed. If you do have any issues with the cream not being hot enough, then just make a little bain-marie on the fire. That's a pan of water. Put the bowl on top of the pan of water and bring the water back up to the boil with the pan on top, making sure it's not touching, just to help you melt any more chocolate if you struggle to melt it with just the cream. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to pour that on top. Oh, look at that, it's beautiful. We're going to fill it right up to the top. Should have enough mix here. I'm going to make sure we're right to the top. If you do have mix left, you can set it in little moulds and they will just pop out. Nice little chocolate treat. So what you can do now is make sure you're right to the top. Just go as brave as you want to the top. You're not baking it, so you don't have to transport it anywhere. Just fill it right the way to the top, and there we go. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Hope you loved your chocolate tart. Nice and easy, nice and simple. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.